Let's talk about emotions for attracting, how we can awaken the emotions for attracting whatever we want to attract. So let's go on. We will start again as always with our friend because he is a master of awakening the emotions. He can teach you really well now because he did it so many times that it's like a piece of cake for him. And he wants to teach you to how to awaken emotions, so it will be a piece of cake also for you. So let's start. Firstly, to understand, we are most of the time living our lives in the emotions of survival. And what are emotions of survival? Those are emotions of guilt, emotions of anger, emotions of sadness, when we think we did something bad, and when we are feeling unworthiness, and we are feeling like nothing is working out for us, and we are living most of our lives based on those emotions. And what science is showing to us now is that 95% of a day we are living unconsciously, and those emotions are stored in our body from our past, which means that unconsciously we are feeling those emotions, and then based on those emotions we are creating or attracting thoughts which unconsciously are producing or creating more of those emotions. So let's move on. The emotions of survival. The first three chakras, we can call them that way. Here are stored our emotions. We could say also that our memories from what we've experienced in our past can be stored in our emotions, because every time when we've experienced something bad or something that awakened stress in our body, we have remembered that experience based on how we felt at that time. So we saw something, or we were a part of an experience. Let's do it that way. We were a part of an experience, and that experience turned on different emotions, which means our environment turned on some certain emotions, and those emotions then created more thoughts. And because it was a really stressful situation, even when this event or whatever it was over, we were still thinking and feeling it. We were still thinking about it. Oh, I did something wrong. What happened there? I don't know what to do. So we were feeling the stress, and we were thinking even more about it, and we were repeat it over and over again, even the next day and the next day and the next day. And you know what's interesting? That we as human beings are like the only species on our planet, at least as much as we are aware of, that we can turn the stress in our body just by thought alone. So why this is important now? We will move on to emotions of attracting, but why this is important? This is important to understand why we are attracting into our life the moments, the events, the things which we don't want to attract, because our thoughts from the environment, from observing environment, are awakening emotions, and emotions are creating more thoughts. And if we don't stop that process, this process will design our vibrational frequency, because we will start vibrating based on how we think and how we feel. And the core of the law of attraction, as you know it, is our thinking. Our thoughts are attracting, that's what we know. But actually our thoughts are creating emotions, and emotions are creating more thoughts, and the outcome of that is our vibrational frequency, the state of being. And that's what is attracting things and events into our life. So our aura, our state of being is the magnet. So if you are constantly thinking negative and you are feeling negative, you have a lot of stored emotions in your body, and those stored emotions are creating more negative thoughts, and you don't even know how to stop it, and we will learn today how to do it. So I was talking a lot in my previous videos about it, how to change this state of being, and why we are repeating certain informations over and over again. Because more we are repeating the important stuff, the important informations, easier it is to remember them. And if we are able to remember them, we can use them as a practice. And with practice, we can gain experiences. And with experiences, we can gain wisdom. So let's move on. This guy, we can see that when he was living life with his stored emotions of survival, he was kind of sad, and he was constantly attracting into his life negative events and more negative events, and he had lack of money, and the relationships were really bad, and his job, he was doing job that he didn't even like. So even more things like that, and he was always thinking, why this is happening to me? But suddenly he realized, oh, I need to change something in my mind. Same as if you watched my previous video, same was with love, right? He needed to change something. So he changed it. He started thinking firstly, and he found out, I don't even know what I would like to experience. I don't even know what my life would be or where I want to be. So first thing that he did was get clear of what you want. Get clear of what you want, because when you will get clear of what you want, you will not be so much jumping from one thing to another, from one patient to another, and searching for happiness here and searching for happiness there and this and that. You will get clear on what you want, and this guy learned it, so he find out what he wants in his life, what he wants to attract. The second thing that he learned was be really precise about the first thing. Be really precise about what you want. If you know now what you want, now you need to be really clear about it. Let's say if he wants to make more money, he will know exactly how much he wants to make each month, what he will be able to buy with that money, how he will feel when he will have that money, and like on which bank account he will be able to see that money, or he will be able to go on the bank account with the phone, or he will be really precise about it. He will be precise how he will feel when he will have it. The third thing that he learned the third thing that he learned is oh, I need to visualize it somehow. But he was really not good with visualizing. He was constantly talking, oh, I can't visualize anything. I'm not a visualized person. My imagination is, I don't even have an imagination. He was really sabotaging himself with that. But he still find out that I need somehow turn my thought into an experience. So he learned that he needs somehow to figure it out how to turn his thought into an experience. And if he is not a visualized person, how he can do it? Here's the trick, because he found out I'm really precise about it, so it's not so hard to imagine how it looks like. Because if he wants money and he knows exactly how much money, he can write it on a piece of paper and look on the numbers and close his eyes and imagine those numbers on his bank account. Because if we learn to be really precise, it's much easier to visualize it. But even if we still can't visualize, we can find a picture and post it on the wall. A picture of a bank account, or a picture of our perfect house, or a picture of a perfect job, or whatever, a picture of a happy relationship, and we can post it on the wall. And every time when we will see it, we can close our eyes and practice seeing it in our life. Because one thing happens in our brain when we are imagining something. Our brain don't know the difference if the event is happening in a real-time experience or we are just imagining it. Our brain reacts the same, but only if we know how to turn a thought into an experience. So if we are able to imagine it, he learned to imagine it. He thought he's not a visual person, but he still learned to do it. And here happened something really amazing for him, because when he turned his thought into an experience, every time when he saw a picture on his wall, and when he turned a thought into an experience, he found out something more. He found out that every time when he did it, he felt stronger emotions. He felt elevated emotions. He felt elevated emotions. So that's what happens when we are imagining something, or when we are thinking of something as it is already in our life. Our body will automatically awaken those emotions as we are already experiencing it. Like I said before, with our brain don't know the difference if it is happening for real or we are just imagining it. So our brain will create a chemical reaction in our body and it will awaken those emotions. So our friend learned that every time when he's imagining it and he's turning a thought into an experience, which means he's imagining it so strong that he can feel himself as he's walking through that vision, or he's already having that money or that house or that job, he started to feel better. He learned, oh, here's the secret. Here's the secret. I become more in control about what is happening in my head. I'm becoming in control, not my environment, but I am in control. Me as an awareness. I'm in control what is happening in my head. And because of those elevated emotions, he raised the energy from his stored emotions to his heart, but also beyond his heart to his brain, to his brain, and he felt really alive because of that. And because of that, he also created a stronger electrical field, electromagnetic field around his body, which started attracting more positive events, because we are always attracting into our life events equal to our state of being. So he learned by this process, by getting clear of what he wanted, to be really precise about how it looks like. And when he learned or find out what exactly it looks like, what kind of house, what kind of job, how it looks like, he created some photos, or he just imagined it. Depends of how good you are in imagination, but it's always possible to do it. So he learned how to turn a thought into an experience. Here it can help you also how, if you would ask here yourself, how I would feel if it would already happen, how I would feel if I would already have that money. Or you can also ask what my future self feels like when he or she already have it. Here's infinite different possibilities, so write in the comments below if you would like to learn more about it, because there's truly a lot of different ways to find it out. And after it, he learned that elevated emotions of love, gratitude, happiness, and joy was awakened because of his new thoughts of having it already. Even if in his environment it's not there yet, he's feeling as it is there yet. And suddenly he started seeing different synchronicities in his life, and suddenly he started attracting more positive events into his life. And he learned that by this process he's not feeling so bad anymore. So his stored emotions, the energy which was stored here, was awakened, and it went through his heart, and he felt really blissfulness at that moment, and into his brain. And if we go on into that crown chakra, and that is creating his new state of being. And by as science, new science now is measuring this energy around our bodies for a long time now, and they found out that every time when we feel better, when we are happier, when we feel more excited, our energy around our body is stronger. And if we draw a scale here, how it looks like, from stored emotions of anger and unworthiness and sadness, we are going into happiness and joy and peace and gratitude. And higher we go, the faster is the energy, which means stronger energy, which means we are attracting things faster, because things are manifesting faster because of the change of the energy inside our body. So our friend learned it in a hard way, because he was not really into any science or any spirituality at that time. So he went through many different hard things, but he learned that when he became really clear of what he wants in his life, and when one thing has manifested, he learned, I can do it one more time and one more time and one more time, and suddenly his whole life, his whole personal reality changed. So here is the secret, how you can awaken the emotions for attracting new life, because everything is in our thoughts and emotions, and this circle is creating our energy. So we need to learn to awaken our heart here, to gain or to build energy from emotions, to through our heart, our brain, and we will always, always by that process, we will feel love for life. We will be shining, we will be happy, we will be amazing. Life will be a beautiful experience when we will do it, and we will always feel grateful, and we will, at this moment, we will want to give more, we will want to teach people how to do it. If I can do it, you can do it as well, and everyone can do it, and if we can teach more people how to achieve that, more people will live happy life, and more happy people means we'll add happiness, more happiness to our collective consciousness, which will help awaken also those who are not aware of that yet. So they will start also researching that, and that can be a way to a brighter future. So this is it for today. Write in the comments below if you have any questions about it or what you would like to see next. So like I said, this is it, and thank you for all of you for supporting my work, for buying my art on my Etsy shop and Redbubble. You can find the link in the description below. Thank you so much again, and have a beautiful day. Peace.